On the previous episode of Paint Society, it was paint day, and we rocked into the booth and showed you how to get those panels nice and clean using our water and solvent-based cleaners. Now from there, we showed you a series of different cleaning techniques as well as static techniques to make sure you get the cleanest possible job from any environment. We then rocked and rolled into spraying our base coat to have a perfect seamless blend, and some techniques along the way to really lose your blend in the door and well blending into the hood as well. Once our base coat was done, we laid on two absolutely stunning beautiful coats of a high gloss clear coat to give this Type R a new lease on life. Welcome back to another episode of Paint Society, the channel where the learning doesn't stop when the video ends. Well, we made it to part 4 of the build series, and if you've been along all the way since episode number 1 when we did those initial test fits, I want to thank you for joining me. If you haven't seen it, well, make sure you check out the first 3 episodes. A lot of great information and knowledge to get us to this point. Now, this happens to be my favorite part of the actual series because all the hard work that we've done, we're going to put it all together and see how it looks. Now, before we start assembling, we need to do some buffing. And I want to talk to you about some buffing techniques and some of the equipment that I use to get the job done. And these are some of those products I talked about. Now, all the products will be linked down in the description if you want to check them out. So I like to use the 3M Perfecta kit. Now, there's a couple other polishing kits on the market that work pretty good, but I'm really happy with the way this one has been performing. So before we go to the polishing, compound and polishing stage, you need to start with the sanding stage. Now we'll start off with what I like to use, which is a toll cut. Now toll cut comes in a variety of different grits. Now I'm choosing the 1500 because I like the way the 1500 really cuts down the nib without leaving too aggressive of a scratch. So it'll come with these little sheets of paper, and well, when you take a look at it, you can see that this just goes basically on top of the little block. And I like the block because it's very dense and it's going to only take off the top of the nib, which you'll see in a little bit. So once we go around and nib out the little dust nibs or the little imperfections, then we want to follow it up and refine it with a 2000. Now we will be using a 3-inch DA. Now we're going to be using a 3-inch paper that goes along with this. It will be the Bufflex 2000 grit that comes with the interface pad, and that's going to kind of take off the roughness or the aggressiveness of the sandpaper and leave a nice, even, smooth transition between a 1500 and a 2000. And here's what those sandpapers look like. This is a 2000, and then we'll finish off with a 3000 and leave it smooth enough for buffing. Looking closer at the 3M system, there's a couple different pads you can get. This is the 6-inch pad and this is the 8-inch. Now, since we're doing something small, we're gonna keep it small with the 6-inch pad, and well, we use the 8-inch to finish off with our finishing polish. Now, each one goes according to the actual pad, so these will go hand in hand. This is a compound, and then you're gonna have your machine polish, and then we'll finally finish up with the ultra fine machine polish, which will take away that haziness or any of those swirls that you might only see in the sun. And we will be using the Milwaukee rotary buffer. It's got that quick connect on it, so we can easily take one of these pads and just simply connect it just like that. And to just finish things off, we have a microfiber towel, and we're gonna be using a liquid ice, which is like a detailer spray in between the different polishes and compound, just to make sure we wipe everything clean before we proceed. And that's a quick look at, well, some of my buffing stations for something very simple. Now, we're gonna be going around just nibbing out. We're not taking out orange peel because, well, the surface has that nice OEM texture and we don't wanna take that away. All we wanna do is really go around the little tiny little dust nibs and remove them. And they are here and there throughout the fender and the front half of the hood and, well, the door top as well. So let's get that Honda Civic Type R pulled back into the shop for the last time, and let's get started on the buffing. I gotta say, it feels really good to really get this car all back together, and it's looking really, really nice. Now, you will notice some of the techniques or practices I used in videos 1, 2, and 3, they were a little bit slower than, well, if you were in a production shop, you might not be able to carry out those same techniques because they do take generally a little bit slower. But, well, if you're in your home garage or not so busy shop, or if you really, really want to try to do your best, then try to take some of those techniques you learned from the video and apply them to your actual vehicle or whatever car you might be working on in your shop. Because I gotta say, those are different and, well, really, really good techniques I developed over the years to really get a good quality job. And, well, clean, clean, clean is the name of the game when it comes to painting. And make sure you always test fit those parts and get your color right before you finish and, well, start your painting job. I want to thank you once again for joining me on this journey, and I hope you would like to see more series builds, because that's just what we're going to be doing on this channel, as well as a lot of great information coming your way. Also, don't forget to check out the merch store. If you want to pick up cool shirts just like this and, well, look just this good, make sure you check out paintsocietystore.com. Also, don't forget our Instagram is growing very rapidly. A lot of great information there, tech tips along the way as well. That's paint.society. Guys, this is Brian from Paint Society reminding you, don't overthink it. It's just paint. Let's check it out.